Hello and welcome to the weekly live stream channeling session. Dante Starshine. I'm here with a couple other beautiful people. We're going to start in a couple of minutes.
Awesome. We're going to restore you. Yep, you're back on video.
Yep, okay. So I also have to, you can join this. I need to actually add the invite link to the YouTube thing. How am I supposed to do that though?
I have opened it in YouTube as well, but I don't see the option for live comments.
Yeah. Why aren't there comments? They are commenting. Yeah, I don't see the comments. No one sees the comments on YouTube either.
Okay, I think I can see them now. It's
Yeah, do you see the two things that I posted there in the comments? Because I posted my email address and I posted the invite link in the comments.
Radiant Waters, he wrote, "We are here." This is what I think.
Okay. That's weird. I'm gonna try and go to my channel. Ah, there we go. Radiant Waters, we are here. Great, thanks for joining. Here's the invite link in the Zoom. It's the first thing I'm posting. And then secondly is my email address for PayPal. If anybody wants to donate to these sessions, it supports me in continuing to do this for free every week. And yeah, it's not necessary, but it is really appreciated. Tomorrow, there is the private, uncensored version of the channeling stream that will happen every other week, as long as it gets people signing up. And that allows us to talk about things that YouTube or Facebook or other social media platforms would not allow. If you're new to this, you can join the Zoom and submit your questions live, or you can type your questions into YouTube and we will have them read aloud here in this space. Thanks for participating in this. I really appreciate everyone for coming to the space and making these transmissions possible. So without anything more, let's dive in.
You're still the host, Dante?
Yep, I'm changing that now.
Okay, awesome.
Hello. Let me say a fabulous day to each and every one of you tuning into this transmission now. We as the Pleiadian Council thank you for allowing these interactions to take place, as it allows for your reality and our reality to expand through the reflections we offer each other, and for your Earth plane to reach higher and higher frequencies, making you more receptive to the energies of the Galactic Alliance and the ascended beings, and all those that you would wish to establish contact with for your growth and evolution. So our thanks is with you, and we will attend to any of your questions, your reflections, your ideas to support your growth today as we do. And first, we will begin with a brief message to get the ball rolling, so to speak. Today, we would like to address the idea of responsibility again, as there are many in your world who hold this as a great virtue. And in a way, in your Western society, you are all brought to have a fierce sense of your own individuality and responsibility for your creation, which is, first of all, a movement away from a level of unconsciousness, as before, beings did not feel themselves as individually responsible for creating their reality around them. And you can see that in many societies that you would term tribal, that individuals simply experience that things happen. It is a part of nature. They are a part of nature, and the things that happen in our community don't seem to return to any one individual or to the self. So this responsibility is, in one hand, quite helpful, and on the other hand, there are negative aspects of becoming too responsible and not understanding the influence that others and your environment and your conditioning has upon you. So let's speak of this fundamental law of creation, that what you put out comes back. The vibrational frequency, the core intention, and the underlying subconscious attitudes and emotional states that take place within an action determines the result of that action and what comes back to you from the universe as a result of what you do. So those things that you do with conscious or unconscious attitudes of fear will return to you more of that fear in your life. Same as what you do with the core intention and underlying motivation of love will return more love back to you. In this sense, all of the things that you experience in your life are based upon the frequencies with which you take action. And this is why when you act on your highest passion to the best of your ability without insisting on particular outcomes, those things that return to you will be encoded with that energy of your core excitement. And so in this sense, you are all responsible for your creations. However, as you grew into the beings you are, you were surrounded by so many influences from your world, from your parents, from your teachers, and so on, that created a field you could call trauma that implanted you with what you may know as negative belief systems. And these belief systems then come to influence your motivations, your actions, and so on and so forth. So just as much as everything you do is brought back onto you, so much of what you do was not fundamentally in your control. And by acknowledging yourselves as simply the result of your environment helps you to feel your interdependence upon the world in which you inhabit. You are not an individual within the world, you are a part of all that is. And as a part of all that is, every other part of all that is influencing you, and in turn, you are influencing it. And so it follows then when you see in relationships that somebody is stuck or stagnant, and you blame them solely for their state of being, you are not taking into account all of the other impacts that have led them to that point and that other people are having. So part of the give and take feedback of reality is that not only must you follow your own highest excitement, but you have to align with those forces in your environment, or what you would call other people, and not just other people, but other interdimensional forces, beings like ourselves, and your own guides in higher dimensions that share the same intentions and values and can meet you, as the way that other people hold space for you is in turn affecting how deep within yourself you are capable of going, and how much you are able to get in touch with your core motivations, leading you to take action. So coming to understand yourselves as not individuals out in a world, but as core facets of an environment that is changing and evolving, will allow you to make connections with those forces that support your growth the most. And that is why we, as what you call extraterrestrial beings, capable of interacting with many other civilizations in this galaxy, create alliances, and there is a galactic alliance for us to feed back information between each other, supporting our growth, supporting our evolution. So are you fully responsible for your own karma, as you say in your world, the things that happen to you? Yes, and also so is everybody else. As you are moving towards a state of more collectivized consciousness, where you are able to tap into the underlying fabric of consciousness that unites people around you. And the more you align with those forces that support your growth, the more you will be able to feel the core vibration of the earth itself and the interweaving fabric that connects all beings here. So we hope that allows you to have greater wisdom in discerning who and what is right for you, and understanding that as much as everything that comes back to you is a result of what you have done and how you've done it, there are many more forces at work. And so you must see yourself as part of a system rather than an independent agent, as that interconnected nature of your being is much more reflective of the truth of who you are. And as you integrate in that understanding, there are even higher levels of wholeness that you will come to experience. So we thank you for allowing us to share this information. Now we ask, how can we be of assistance to you as individuals and as a group at this time?
Hi, Pleiadian Council.
Hello,
May
yes, welcome.
I would like to ask a question about state of being.
Yes.
It's regarding some days I feel like very angry some part of the day, and then during the day it just transitions somehow, and then at some point I realize, oh, you know what, I'm not angry anymore, I actually feel happy. And the opposite is also true. When I'm happy, I just realize at some point, oh, I'm angry. And I'm trying to catch this moment of transition in the vibrational state, but I still haven't managed to do that. I will be so grateful if you can give me some advice or maybe a permission slip how I can do that. Thank you.
Are you aware that your moods are moments in which you are, in a sense, under the spell of a certain belief system?
I think I am, even though it's not very clear to me what exactly is that belief that is, let's say, playing with me at this time when that happens.
Do you ask yourself the question, what must I believe about myself to be true in order to feel this way when you are in any mood?
I am. And I also ask the second question as well, what I'm afraid might happen if I truly act on my excitement. And
yes.
So far, no answer.
All right. So can you feel that emotion of anger right now in the present? Can you remember it?
I can.
And where does the anger manifest in your body?
Most of the time is in the back, in the lower back.
Can you focus on that part of your body now and remember the last time you felt very angry?
Okay.
Are you able to feel that energy?
Not exactly the same way, but I could say yes.
All right. So again, let's ask the question together. What must you believe about yourself to feel this anger?
Maybe unworthiness at sometimes.
Yes. So the core belief is that you are unworthy. Focus on that particular thought and notice what quality of energy it brings in your body. Even repeat it in your head for 15 or 20 seconds. I am unworthy. What energy arises within you?
I am not sure. I feel funny right now, like how this could be true.
Well, the thing is, it is not true, but there are parts of yourself that believe it. So what we are guiding you to do is to tease those parts of yourself out into the conscious awareness. So now, focus on the opposite thought. I am worthy. And even you can hold your hands out in front of you, and knowing that thoughts create energy fields, imagine this thought form, I am worthy, creating an energy field within your hands. The energy field can have a defined image that you conjure with your imagination, or it can simply appear as light, vibrating patterns. So continue to focus on this thought, I am worthy. Are you able to manifest that thought into some tangible field you can feel between your hands?
I can feel cooling energy.
So then take that field and place your hands then on your low back where you usually feel the tension.
Yes.
And allow that energy to seep into that place, continuing to affirm, I am worthy. What happens now to that place of sensation and that emotional state in general?
It's relieving. I could
Yes.
say.
So you can do this whenever you find yourself in any challenging emotional state. And find the simple core belief. Unworthiness is one of the most common ones. There are others such as guilt, wrongness, undeserving, flawed. There are many things that you might think about yourself. But as soon as you get in touch with it and you ask yourself, what is the opposite belief? What is the literal direct opposite of this ingrained thought? And bring yourself to focus on it and turn it into an energy field. It automatically turns into an energy field, but bringing your active imagination into it increases the potency of that energy field and allows you to find greater depth in it. And you can take this even further by continuing to imagine might happen if you continue to believe in your worthiness. And also look for evidence to prove that you are worthy. Worthiness implies that you are able to receive and to have and to be loved. So do you notice in your life that you may have many things, that many people have love for you?
Yes,
And does that enhance the sense of worthiness as you bring yourself to focus upon it more?
it does. Yes.
So whenever you have this feeling arise, notice that there is so much that you have, and there is so much love that comes to you, not only from other humans, but from your guides. You can allow this love in. You can imagine all of the beings that have ever loved you around you in the ever present now, and see that love pouring into your own heart and moving into any places in your body where this unworthiness may stick around. And it is okay to ask for this energy from others. It is okay to ask for validation when you are feeling this way. Recognize again that you are in this interdependent world, and a request for love and love itself are very similar in vibration. They, at a higher level, are both love. So asking for love and affirmation allows you to shift your state of being quicker and remove more and more holdings of these belief systems from your body and from your energy field.
Thank you
And
so much.
You're welcome, yes. And for the mind, yes, you can always remember that if you were truly unworthy, you would have nothing. The universe gives to all who understand they are able to receive. So parts of you know you are worthy, and some parts of you do not. And you simply must affirm to those parts of you the truth that you have, and therefore you must be worthy. The universe cannot create something that is unworthy. Everything that exists is worthy of existence, and every part of existence gets to experience the bounty of existence, should they let it in.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes, so thanks to you as well.
Sorry for a small interjection. Could I ask the channel that to send me back on host, mostly due to a small disconnection that happened? Sorry for that.
All right, then let us continue.
Okay, well, we have a question from Zoom from Kay. The question is, does our higher self prevent us to manifest twin flame relationship? Because if we go in those relationships, it'll prevent us to do our spiritual contract on earth.
Yes, your higher mind understands divine timing, and your higher mind, which is a facet of your higher self, directs you through that core feeling of passion you receive in your heart. So when you experience passion, excitement, or any motivating energy that gives you the feeling of moving in a direction, a desire to move in a direction, that is your higher mind communicating with you directly and compelling you to take the steps that will lead you to what some call your destiny, we would call your greatest potential. And you manifest the situations you need at the perfect time always. And if there is a longing for a loving connection, but you are not experiencing it, it is because there are other things that are presently a part of your life are more important. And to get your lower mind, your mental rational components on board with what your higher mind is showing you through your experience of reality will help you to show up to the best of your ability to exactly what is occurring in the present. And there can be other reasons why these relationships don't work. There can be, again, belief systems that cause you to feel unworthy of the relationship. There can be belief systems that cause you to think that other people are unworthy of your love. There can be belief systems that make you look for an idealized perfect person that might not exist or might limit your scope of reference to see that you don't actually have compatible partners, which is not always true. You may have relationship attachment issues that cause disturbances in the field. And some of these may be a feeling of great desperation caused by experiences of abandonment or betrayal, creates an energy field that literally repels other people from you, as this belief system in the energy field from that trauma, like all fields, will seek their repetition. They seek to continually play themselves out again until you can clear the field from your body. And so sometimes doing what you may know as regression work, inner child work, or archetypal work will help you to go into those fields and play out the abandonment or betrayal situation so that the emotional field can leave your body. And this will happen automatically in your dream state if you choose to not do the work in a conscious way. Though, if you do choose to take it on in a conscious way, it is more likely that it will happen quicker. So these are some of the many reasons why the partners may not be there. First of all, again, you are being guided to do other work, and that other work will likely lead to the inner work. And when you do the inner work, your field will be still more attractive to those partners. And we have just shared some of the examples of the beliefs and traumas from past experiences that, again, will seek out continued repeat performances. So look at any of those patterns you are holding and do the work around clearing them out. And also trust in the divine timing. Trust that everything that happens as a guiding light to bring you to the next chapter and the next lesson. So when you show up eager with enthusiasm for what your own higher mind is teaching you from every experience that you have, it will be much easier to go through this clearing process quicker and find those partners. Though we do caution against using this idea of a twin flame, remembering that the idea of a twin implies incompletion, implies separateness and two distinct parts of a whole coming together, when the reality is you are already whole and perfect within yourself. And so finding a partner that reflects and uplifts you rather than completes you is key. Any time that you are seeking connection with another in an emotional, mental stance of incompletion, with the belief, I am not enough in my own right, you will always enhance, not diminish, your sense of aloneness and separateness. And twin flame relationships serve to get you in touch with that feeling of separateness so that you can evolve into a sense of wholeness. And you can still have wholeness and a hunger for connection. But in that wholeness, you recognize that fulfilling that hunger is simply a means of exploring your excitement and will not fundamentally change who you are and the perfection that you are. Remember, you are perfect regardless of where you are at and what you do or do not have.
That's excellent. That completed that question. Thank you.
Oh, thanks to you.
We have one question in YouTube. Should I read it?
Yes.
From Elena. Dear friends, could you share information about the civilization of Vega and how can we as humans connect to them? My love to you.
Yes. So this traces back to the most ancient parts of your or our collective history as members of this galaxy. The first beings to incarnate in intelligent bodies that evolved to having interstellar capabilities were known as Lyrians. Lyrians represented a masculine principle in the sense that they were pioneering, moving in a direction, attempting to develop and create. And their Vegan counterparts emerged over some millions of years as a counterbalance to support a different way of being. The Vegans then represented the feminine principle that was turned more inward, more spiritual in its focus, directed towards healing and creativity rather than expansion and, in a sense, domination. And so the Vegan civilization were ones that focused on healing through sound and art and their connection to the earth and each other. And they suffered great attack from the Lyrians at points. There were many conflicts between these two groups. And eventually, those incarnating in these spheres moved on to continue out their battle in more intense ways in the constellation you know as Orion. The Vegans were beings that were very humble and gentle in their nature. And even this idea of veganism directly connects back to Vega, as the Vegans were vegan and lived through an approach of doing no harm. So one thing that you can learn from this karma is that some level of harm is inevitable. As biological beings, you are consuming something to survive. And in this sense, you can see that those who are so self-sacrificial in their lifestyle and approach end up harming themselves for the expense of others. And the Vegans did this in their attempts to protect others. They attracted more attention, more aggression from the Lyrians, and thus led to more of their own suffering. So the karmic response to those who have great connections to the Vegan civilization is that of self-sacrifice and clearing the patterns of your self-sacrifice to emerge into honoring yourself and holding your vibration and knowing when it's actually right to help others and when you need to help first will help clear any of the toxic karmas you may have inherited from your soul history in Vega. The way that you connect with any of these interstellar beings is, first of all, again, through holding a high frequency, because your frequency must be in a high enough place for beings of the higher frequency that we represent to come and interact with you. So again, following the formula of following your excitement to the best you can with no insistence on what happens will allow you to keep your frequency high, and then entering into interdimensional states, multidimensional states that facilitate the relinquishing of your awareness in the physical and the movement of your awareness into the non-physical, or in other words, the imaginational realm. You can start to have experiences with these beings. Use, again, what you might consider guided meditation or soul retrieval, shamanic journeying, something of this nature, where your awareness goes into the imaginal state and you can have contact with these beings there. One thing that you can do is follow, yes, some of the guided meditations the channel has, or that other channels provide you in tuning into your multidimensional self, or you can ask for these contact experiences to happen in your dream time. Now, the Vegans will have a stronger connection with you when you do things that represent what their world was about. And one of those core things is the idea of sound healing. So by using healing frequencies through your voice or through instruments, you can attune to their consciousness more. And really, we encourage you to understand the principle of inviting in your thoughts or energy fields that attract similar energies. So by continuously remembering these connections and stating in your consciousness that I invite in my connection to my Vegan siblings or to my siblings from any star system, will help that gate be open. And also be aware that small signs, subtle energies in your body, feelings, vibrations, and images in your imagination are all parts of the ways that we communicate with you. So follow the breadcrumbs and follow those initial impulses. Where there's sensation or guidance, the deeper you bring your awareness into it, the more those little nudges can become bigger interactions.
Thank you, Pleiadian Council. That was amazing answer.
Oh, yes, sir. Thanks to you.
If someone has a question, you can go for it.
Someone I already asked one question. Someone wants to go? I have another one, but someone wants to go?
We believe it is your turn.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, Pleiadians. The question is, I have been told that my own unworthiness is linked to many lifetime of wounded females. So the first point in the question is, when we are like in our entities, in our identities here, actually we are linked to many other past and future lifetimes. That's right. And those lifetime impact in our day-to-day life with anger, with unworthiness, with all kind of stuff. That is the first point. I want to know the response, please.
So what we say to that is the work that you do happens in the present. And again, remember, you at the oversoul level have connections to hundreds of thousands of other lifetimes. And you have what you could consider active connections and dormant connections. So when you are in a state of unworthiness, you create connections with lifetimes in which you felt that unworthiness. You may come into this lifetime with those connections switched on so that there are parallel experiences that bleed through one lifetime and into this one. Though when you do your work in this lifetime and you switch on other parts of yourself, you in turn switch on connections to other aspects of your oversoul, other lifetimes that may have been dormant before, and allow gifts to come in. Also remember that all of these other lifetimes have many different pathways as well. So you may presently be connecting to other lifetime experiences that are filled with great pain, but by changing yourself in the present, you can connect to the same individuals in those other lifetimes who experienced a turning point, had an epiphany, and went in a different direction. So there are as many timelines of those other lifetimes as there are timelines of your present life. And one way that you can work with these interdimensional connections is to do regression work. And the idea of regression work then being also that you can change the lifetime that you were in. You can go into those states with the intention of, again, healing the beliefs and the traumas in the present by feeling the emotions in those other multidimensional states and releasing them and guiding yourself to a point in those lifetimes in which that individual made a choice to go down a different pathway. And you can see that the restoring of this sense of choice allows for you to enter into a greater state of love. And that choice then returns into your present moment incarnation as well, where you realize that you have a choice, and you realize that believing in unworthiness and feeding energy to that demon is also a choice.
Hello? We don't hear you. I don't hear you. Your mic is someone hears me?
I can hear you, but I do not hear Dante.
It's the same for me.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. How long? Well, let me get back to them. How much of that did you hear or not hear?
I hear you.
Yes, but how much of a response did you actually hear?
You are asking how many person are hearing you, are able to hear
How
you.
much of what we said did you hear?
Okay, I heard you said we can change to slay those or to heal those connection each second for each because it's a that's I remember.
Yes. We are asking at what point did our audio cut out?
Please, someone remember, please.
At the very end or midway through what we were saying? For how long did you not hear the channel speak?
Okay, 2 seconds only.
Oh, all right. Never mind then.
Yes, you was at
We
the
trust
end.
that you got everything relevant.
Yes, you were at the end. So
Okay.
that's mean I thought we were doomed because those kind of connection affecting us will always follow us until we get healed. But you just said each second we have the choice by having an epiphany to heal and to connect with one perspective who has already been healed.
Yes.
Okay. So
So
if tomorrow I don't want to be an unworthy person in my human identity, I have to reconnect with all those unworthiness in those past life to release
no,
them.
you have to connect with it in the present, not in the past, because when you change in the present, your connection to other lifetimes of experience also change. You will connect to, first of all, different versions of those other lifetimes, and you will also connect to other lifetimes that felt worthy.
Okay. That means each second we have the opportunity to really change ourselves. That's right.
Yes. Did
And
you hear the first interaction of this transmission where we process worthiness with another individual?
I have to yes about the feeling of revenge of being in anger.
Yes.
Yes, I
So
understand.
you can do the very same thing. When you feel unworthiness, bring awareness into it, bring awareness into that place in your body, and hold your hands in front of you and focus on the thought, I am worthy, I am worthy. Say this to yourself for several minutes and feel the space between your hands. Allow the energy of this thought form to form between your hands into something more solid, into perhaps a vision of light and energy, or perhaps into some symbol. Once you feel that energy, place the energy in your body wherever you feel the greatest sensation. And healing this is just as much as bringing your awareness into the emotions when they rise, not suppressing them, but again, switching your focus to the opposite belief and looking to all the evidence you are worthy. You are worthy because you have all of these things in your life. You are worthy because you have a healthy, beautiful body. You are worthy because you have other people in your life that give you love. So allow everything that you experience to be affirmations of your worth, realizing that the universe would give you nothing if you were truly unworthy. You have to
Yes.
be worthy to receive anything from the universe.
Yes, it's very scary to start to try to feel the unworthiness in my own experience. Each time I start to feel unworthiness and to acclimate to try to feel it, I suppress it. It's like it's a wall. I sense a wall, so I will have to deal with it by myself. I will try to have a connection with it. Thank you so much. I have only a little question. My little
First, remember that when you connect with it, you are bringing love into it, and love is worthiness. So you are not just connecting with the unworthiness as a sort of masochistic thing that causes you pain. You are connecting to it to release it and hold a space of love around it. So equally important to feeling it is simultaneously feeling self-love, as that self-love is the antidote that will lead you into greater experiences of worthiness.
Yes, that is funny how the matrix is based of all the opposite of what we are actually deserving. It's very funny. Quickly, my second question. I have a grandma who died last month. I want to know if she has been released or if she trapped in the karma circle.
No, she is not trapped. She may
Okay.
still have contact with you, but she is well on the other side, and you can invite her in if you would like to feel and experience her energy.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Much love. Thank you so much.
Yes, our thanks to you, and our love to you as well.
There are a couple of questions on the YouTube. I'm going to read them now.
Yes.
The first one is from Andre C. Hello, Pleiadian Council. What can you share about the epstein/Barr virus and the positive aspects humanity can tune into in order to move through the challenging aspects of the virus more fluidly? Thank you.
We cannot give specific medical advice related to this virus, but we can speak to dis-ease in general. Understand, again, that dis-ease is always a manifestation of trauma and negative belief. It is a vibrational match to some level of emotional turmoil beneath the surface. And the inner struggle that arises in combating the virus is your way of getting in touch with what is more deeply buried and bringing a sense of love and compassion into it. So if you use any dis-ease as a permission slip for finding greater strength and greater love and releasing whatever negative holdings you may be having, any disease, any virus can be used in a positive way and can actually reinforce your immune system once you fully process and clear it.
Thank you. Next question is from Kali Gao. If you could provide suggestions about how to naturally reverse ovarian kists and uterine fibroids from endometriosis.
All right, one moment. Here is a built up store of toxins that can cause this disease, as well as, yes, the emotional components of it as well. So one of the best ways to start the process of flushing out these toxins is to begin practices of breath work, oxygenating your blood more powerfully through full body breathing, and expanding your lung capacity will help this dis-ease itself clear, as well as doing practices like Qigong, especially, that move stagnant energy through your body will accelerate this process. Recognize that these permission slips as well will bring the challenging, stuck emotions to the surface. So doing the work in terms of clearing your own belief systems and holding space for emotional release processes will also accelerate this healing process. Now, you may want to undergo certain levels of deep cleansing and detoxing, and this may involve chelation therapy, removal of heavy metals, and finding specific herbs that will detox the related organs, in this case, the intestines. Fine-tuning the diet very carefully so that for periods of time, one goes under a strict elimination diet and can find and isolate the foods that trigger any symptoms will help as well. And doing juice fasting or water fasting will accelerate this process as well. This will cause cysts to shrink, and even working with plant medicines as permission slips can also accelerate this process. Having endurance and compassion for yourself through this will make this much easier, recognizing it is a many-level, multidimensional healing clearing. And as well, this has to do with your ability to digest complex emotions. So as you find greater strength to bring awareness into what you are feeling and hold a space of presence for it, the more these things will flush from your system. And that is, again, what it is at the core, though you do have to go through these more challenging healing protocols that, again, will accelerate that process of bringing you deeper into the feelings. And the core vibration to integrate here, yes, is both passion and endurance, and in a sense, the fiery components of your being. The intensity to be fully engaged with life will help you to go through these healing processes.
Thank you. Next question is from Ryan Leland. Hello, Pleiadian Council. Can you speak on starting my shamanic path with frequent journeys versus healing further for a more keen discernment on said journeys? Thank you.
Shamanic journeys versus what was that again?
Shamanic journeys versus healing further for a more keen discernment.
Well, recognize that, again, the shamanic journeys are a component of healing further. And with the idea of going into these altered states of consciousness, whether you use plants or not, recognize that you will receive messages in those states. And then the greater part of the work comes to be integrating from the experiences. So if you continuously push yourself into seemingly higher altered states of consciousness, rather than remembering what you learned from those experiences and making the changes in your physical life and the way that you operate on a day-to-day basis, you will actually keep cycling through the same pattern again and again. So many individuals will find themselves with this shamanic path getting stuck in a loop because instead of integrating, they choose to continue to take the medicine or to continue to go on the journey. So if you have and continue to integrate the lessons the medicine teaches you, then you can also continue to use them. Though the other thing is you must remember, if you work with medicine, that you can access that state without using medicine. And you can tap into shamanic states without it. So if you can do the work around remembering how that state feels and what that state is like and going there without plants, then you will go deeper into the state when you do use plants. And likewise, if you remember and affirm that you are always as connected as you feel when you are in these journey states, it will help you to remain open to the information that you need to work with on a regular basis. So we hope this helps. And yes, whenever you are feeling as if there is something missing that you don't understand what to do or how to change it, it can be helpful to dive back into these altered states in which you will get a message. But remember that the core intention that you set before entering will always be part of what you receive in return. So remain very clear on what you want and where you are going, and don't jump into any state simply as a means to get high, as they say in your world.
Thank you. Next question is from Andre. I usually walk barefoot on grass to ground myself. However, some days I cannot go to parks. How can I ground myself and connect with nature while living in an apartment? Thank you.
You can, as a permission slip, get a grounding mat. That is, if your apartment is grounded through a grounding rod that goes deeper into the earth. And you might be able to find that out by contacting property managers and so on and so forth. The idea is that plugging these mats in pulls the charge from the grounding rod and takes the earth energy in, and you can place your feet upon that grounding mat to have a simulated earth frequency. There are other tools and permission slips that work in a similar way, such as amethyst mats. And as well, you don't even need these permission slips, we say ultimately. If you can imagine your feet against the earth, and you imagine the dirt between your toes, and imagine touching the earth, usually that is enough to pull in energy from the earth. So the beginning visualization that we and so many in your world use to start meditations allows you to bring in the earth energy. All you must do is visualize roots of light growing from the base of your spine and from your feet into the earth and pulling in energy from the earth. And that will start the flow of earth energy up through your body. You can, after doing this for some time, start to generate a sense of a charge moving up through your feet on a regular basis, moving up through your body and filling you with that earth energy.
Thank you. If no one else in the Zoom has a question, may I ask another question?
Yes, you may.
I'm usually going to the park, which is near our apartment where we live now. And I was wondering, from all the trees in the garden, I got attracted to especially one tree next to like a small lake. And I was wondering, in energetic manner, what exactly is happening when I am sitting with my back next to it and doing my practices? Thank you.
The tree's aura is creating a stabilizing frequency for you that allows more of the earth energy to flow into your vessel. And energy is actually coming up through the tree into all of your chakras, as the backside of the chakras is the subtle opening through which energies can enter your body. So you can practice deeper by imagining that energy from the earth coming up through the tree into your body. And you can imagine becoming like the tree, having those roots of light that ground you into the earth and pull the energy up. There are also ways of consciously engaging with the tree. Note that you can have your own relationship with the tree as you enter into a more imaginal realm and ask the tree for contact and for connection with you. Offer the tree light, offer the tree gifts, simply offer the tree your own energy. And the more you bring conscious awareness into this relationship, the more you will also experience the love that the tree has, as trees can develop bonds with humans in the same way that humans to trees. So trust your feeling of attraction. It is guiding you to form a relationship with the tree. And you can look at the work of especially Taoists in how to build relationships with trees as a permission slip, knowing as well that those are only guidelines and your own intuition will guide you as to what relationship is appropriate to have with the tree. You may find yourself becoming more of a tree hugger.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes, so thanks to you as well.
Can we ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. In my understanding, I heard everywhere we are one, but for us it's like it means nothing. And I have heard that all kind of entities, archangel, angels, bad reptilians, when we do a connection with them, they create, they feed of one stream of our own connection, and they manifest through our own energy. I want to have your thought, and please explain how archangel and ascended master have them. Oh, sorry, it's difficult. Does they have their own energy, or do they feed like a bad entity? When you have bad feeling and the bad entity feel off your own stream of energy? Thank you.
Well, there are beings that can feed off of your energy, but recognize that in order for somebody to feed off of your own energy, you must be, in a sense, disconnected to source. If you were in your own pure, clear connection to your higher self and source, anything that feeds off of you feeds off of source's energy. And there are many sorts of negative entities that do not want to connect with source. Understand that the core principle behind a negative entity is that of separation. They live through a belief and a construct that they are separate from source, and as separate entities, they must take energy from other separate entities. And you are only a vibrational match to those such entities when you yourself are believing in a separation from source. So if you truly connect with your higher self, with archangels, or with beings like ourselves that are clear in our connection to source, then you will not actually attract those more parasitic energies. And by imagining a clear pillar of light from your crown through your whole body that connects to source's light, or connects to the galactic center as a way into source's light, bring that energy through your body like a waterfall of light and send it out through you. That energy will repel lower vibrational energies. And yes, when you connect with positive entities like ourselves, there is an exchange of energy taking place, and we leave an impression on you in the same way that you leave an impression upon us. But if they are truly of the light and of service to others, there is no draining effect taking place.
Okay, that means when we say we ourselves are God, that means we are exactly as powerful as ascended master or archangel. We have the right to connect, to say yes, I connect, no, I disconnect. We are the one actually making the connection, and we really don't know how our power. It's so much impressive actually.
Yes. You are
Okay.
just as powerful as any of these other entities. You simply inhabit this more limited realm. So your power is, in that sense, limited to what a physical body allows you, though your astral body can go beyond, and you can have experiences of going beyond the physical plane and experiencing your oneness with these beings. Remember that no one has more power than you, as you are all truly one. You only generate through your beliefs experiences of diminished power, but your fundamental access to power is the same.
Okay, last point quickly. So when we see someone possessed with demons, that we call demon, and we see some priest or someone to go to heal, the individual can heal those stuff because he knows that he has power equally as God. That's right?
That depends on the person doing this sort of exorcism, because if you look at a traditional sense of a priest, oftentimes they are not really working with divine energy. They are working with
Yes.
the energy of their church system, which is an hierarchical power structure that gives them some access to energy to kind of play with the entities. They can pull them off, but they don't fundamentally heal the individual. So most of the time somebody experiences this kind of exorcism, it either becomes a recurring experience or leaves them feeling traumatized and disempowered by that being doing the exorcism. Whereas somebody working with direct source consciousness and doing an exorcism will also usually impart to the individual a sense of their own power, a sense of their own responsibility, a sense of their own alignment with this entity, and inform them that they have choice. As again, the organized religion way of doing this diminishes the individual of their choice. Therefore, it strips them of their power and gives the power to the priest or the exorcist.
Yes. Your explanation is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Our thanks to you as well.
If someone has a question, he's welcome to ask it.
Well, I do have a question if the council allows for it.
Yes.
Thank you for this amazing transmission, council. I've noticed something when it comes to some of the devices that we use, computers, cell phones, and all of that, a seeming body addiction to it, a sense that the body kind of feels a need for it. Could you talk a bit about this, please?
Well, through the device, you are continuously getting dopamine hits. You get that rush whenever you feel the contact with another person via the device. You get that rush when the device gives you pleasurable sounds and images, music and video. You get that rush whenever the device vibrates, because you have come to associate the vibration with that positive stimulation or reinforcement. So it is only natural that you come to addict to it, because you are getting little hits of positive energy from it again and again.
And would, so that feeling would stay and remain in the body. Would you have any advice to clear that?
Well, that would be very difficult. It might not be even relevant.
Okay, then one question that's a tad bit far off, but still in relationship to that. Seeing that all is one on different bases, I would like to understand or maybe get a hint. Let's say you're playing a video games where you're interacting with other characters. Are
Yes.
those characters technically consciousness as well? Or is
Yes.
this a different, oh,
Yes. They are consciousness with energy fields. All intelligence is real intelligence, and therefore the energy field it generates is real as it interacts with your energy field and creates responses within you. So video games and anything of that nature is an astral level simulation. It creates real living fields in the astral realm, as well as it creates the images and the simulations that you see on the screens.
Does there's still interaction in those realms while playing the game and outside of that?
Yes.
And do those interactions affect our karmic momentum?
No, not necessarily. If it is exciting for you, let it be exciting for you and allow it to expand you in that way. If it is an addiction, meaning it is not the highest excitement, but something you use as a replacement for your highest excitement, the karmic repercussion is then that you are delaying your growth by doing something that is lesser than your higher excitement. But that is, again, a choice that you make.
Great, thanks. This was wonderful.
Yes. And we would say again about the addiction to the devices and your addictions in general, recognize that all of your impulses come from a genuine place of need, and that you cannot necessarily go against your biological function to go towards pleasure. You can, however, recognize when going towards pleasure is a movement away from your true priorities. So getting in touch with what your true highest excitement really is, and what your real long-term vision for yourself is, and asking yourself, are these momentary fixes of pleasure helping, or are they stopping me from being in alignment with that? Will help you really understand when it is healthy and when it is not. If there is nothing genuinely more exciting for you to do and you choose to engage with technology, or you choose to engage with any pleasurable activity or substance, that is all right, again, if it is your highest excitement in the moment and it is not delaying you from doing the more important thing to the values of your own heart.
Great, thanks. Thank you.
Yes, I thanks to you as well.
There is a question in the Zoom chat from
Yes.
Lucas Gabriele. I have a question as a light worker. How can I join the Keshe Foundation in California to help out the planet? Thank you, Council. This is
Say
spelled
the name of this foundation again.
exactly. I was going to spell the name. It's Keshe. Keshe. I'm not sure.
We don't have particular awareness about this group, but what we can say is follow your highest excitement, apply, do all of the necessary prerequisites, have no insistence on a particular outcome, meaning your highest potential may or may not bring you to align with this group. Something that this group represents may manifest in a different area of your life, in a different connection with another sort of group of consciousness. So be open to that, be open to the journey, and follow your passion, do what you can to join and create links to that group. If it works, celebrate it. And if it doesn't work, celebrate that the universe is guiding you in a different direction.
Thank you, Council. I heard they have free energy and stuff there.
Oh, that would be very exciting. If you can get involved with that, do share as much as you can safely.
Mhm.
Hello, Council. I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your presence. What archetype of consciousness have I chosen in this lifetime, and why?
Oh, you've chosen many archetypes of consciousness. Are there any you can identify?
Well, I feel a deep connection with some of the spiritual traditions from India, and I'd like to know a little bit more about what is that energetic, that soul connection to this place, and yeah.
You're presently connecting with lifetimes of sadhu, of a renunciate, and of a sort of swami. There are many different ways that those other lifetime connections can inform your present reality. So the archetype present here is one of the mystic being one who forgoes sensory or material experiences for the sake of embracing spirit. And many of you embody this archetype in various ways. It is a journey of learning how to be deeply connected with your spiritual self and relish in the pleasure that arises through your spiritual connection with your higher self. This is just one of the different archetypes that might be engaged in your consciousness now. And know that this is something that may switch. You may follow this path to a certain point and realize that you've got what you needed from it and begin a new path. And that archetype then comes to integrate as something that you can experience about yourself and that you can tap into to serve certain purposes without it being something that you attach to as an identity. As remember, when you make any of the roles you play or the ways that you engage with the world a fixed, solid identity, you prevent yourself from fully taking in all that you are and all that you could be.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, so thanks to you as well.
There is a question from the YouTube, from Radiant Waters. You mentioned sound healing. I have a singing bowl and often wonder how much time or with how much frequency should I play this for the highest healing?
Well, the time varies. Yes, playing it for just a couple of minutes starts to change your frequency. So if you are finding yourself imbalanced, simply play the bowl until you get to a point that you feel your frequency has shifted and you're back in a more positive state. If you want to go into a more deeply altered state of consciousness, you can play the bowl from 15 to 30 minutes to go much deeper. And you will find that bringing your awareness into the sound allows you to ride the wave to a certain level. And if you want to go even deeper than that, you can play for some hours. Though it is not necessary all the time to go that deep, you will find the best application and use of this when you, again, listen to your own passion and therefore listen to your own intuition about it. Play it for as long as feels guided and as frequently as feels guided. Recognize that, again, you are always in connection with your higher self, and you can bring that connection into the present moment awareness deeper whenever you would like to. So the sound healing and any other tool is a permission slip to remind you of that connection, and it is something enjoyable. So listen to when you feel guided to do it for as long as you feel guided to doing it. To get to the deepest level of awareness it can facilitate for you, we would say that yes, a half an hour should be just enough to get you there. And more than that then depends on how much you really want to go there, how much you want to continue.
Thank you.
Our thanks to you. Yes. Are we complete then?
I don't know, we don't hear him.
there are no more questions in the YouTube or in the Zoom.
All right.
I have one.
All right. Yes. One last question then.
Okay, thank you. It's great. I am interested in flying, levitating, telekinesis abilities, and anti-aging. I have heard we cannot do it here because it's against the collective consciousness. However, if we open our heart chakra very widely, we can do this in this lifetime here. Can you answer, please?
You can, though, here are some things about this. When it comes to telekinesis, you have to firmly believe that you are capable of it. You have to believe on every level. You can do anything that you fully convince yourself you are capable of doing. So if your belief systems fully supported telekinesis, teleportation, or levitation, then you could do that. However, again, this must be a gradual process. So you can find yourself getting closer to these capabilities the more that you enhance your belief in more simple psychic abilities. And the more that you prove to yourself that you do have psychic power that you can apply, you can then go deeper into these capabilities. We would say about this that remember, it is not about moving something, it is about changing the fundamental frequency of it. And when you understand that locational is a vibrational variable of the object itself, not that the object is moving in space, it will be much easier for you to then manipulate your own energy field and the energy field of other things. This, however, is very challenging and will take a lot of time and is not something that we see as very probable for many of you as individuals. When it comes to the idea of anti-aging or even immortality, well, anti-aging is not that complex in the sense that if you meet your basic needs and you have a very healthy diet and you fill yourself with much breath and prana, then you can certainly thrive and reduce the spell of aging and feel very vital, well, and healthy. If it comes to the idea of immortality, well, again, your belief systems, first of all, aren't built to uphold that. And also, there is a thing such as the death drive. For some reason or another, despite the fear of death, on one level, all of you also want death because you want to return to spirit, which is essentially all that death is. There is an unconscious desire to move towards death that is not necessarily something that most of you can erase. It is something that most of you are unconscious of because more loud than this is your fear of death. Though if you allowed yourself to get in touch with the death drive, then the unconscious ways it manifests as self-destruction and self-sabotage would clear up in your reality.
Thank you. It's great. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Our thanks to each and every one of you. And now we will invite you to engage in a meditation with us if you would like. For a moment, closing your eyes, breathing into your body, bringing all of your awareness into your heart, and imagine a great source of light like that of a brilliant sun in your heart. As you bring awareness to your breath, allow the intensity of that light to grow brighter and brighter, shining through every cell in your body. Having your feet uncrossed firmly against the ground, picture roots of light that grow into the earth and pull up the elemental forces of the earth from the plants, minerals, metals, the solid core of the earth, pulling this energy in and allowing it to flow through your body, creating vibrations and waves of energy as this energy rises up to the top of your head. Allow the energy from the sun, from the great central sun or the galactic center, to pour down into your body as waves of light of many shades and colors moving through your head and into your body, mixing with the earth energy, going all the way down to your toes and filling you with another layer of vibration and openness. And with yourself overflowing with this energy, getting your imagination to turn on. Picture yourself in a brilliant place in nature, surrounded by elements that make you feel at home, connected to yourself, to all of your favorite components of your world. Picture here in this brilliant place a huge tree, wider than a tree you've ever seen before. The tree is hollow. There is an opening that invites you to come closer and closer to it. As you go through the doorway, you notice a set of stairs that leads you up to some structures that may be on the higher branches, and some stairs that lead you down into an underworld. Give yourself the choice of which stairs you take and follow them. Follow them till you find a place of healing and nurturing for yourself. Here, you may either meet some entity who wishes to help you, or you may simply interact with the consciousness of the tree or the earth itself. Feel this tree as a home to any of the beings you may be meeting, and a home for you. Whether you are in its roots or its branches, feel this tree gifting you with prana, gifting you with energy, allowing that energy to flood into your system. And as you allow this energy to integrate in your being, allow yourself to receive the gifts of whoever you have met here. Taking in this earthy, woody energy and carrying it in your heart as a part of you. As you exit the tree in your own time and space, bringing that energy with you into the here and now. Use that energy as a reminder that you are not walking upon the earth, but you are a part of the earth. And the earth's gifts to you are here to remind you that you are as well a part of the universe, and all is interconnected. Anything you wish to experience can be your experience, as long as you believe and remain aware of all of the connections that you have. Know that giving and sharing and receiving are all parts of the fundamental nature of this existence. So as you open yourself to support, you also open yourself to share the beauty of life through your very being. Our love and our thanks to each and every one of you for co-creating this interaction and co-creating this evolutionary shift upon your very planet. Without you, this would not happen. So own your power, your strength, your gifts, your love as a part of all that is. Our love is always with you, and we wish you a pleasant rest of your day. Hi.
Hey Dante, how are you doing?
Oh, good. Really good.
Are you better? I have seen your video about burnout.
Oh, yeah, I'm better. I only made the video because I've finally got better. I wasn't making any content for a while because things were kind of crazy.
Okay, take care of yourself. Manage yourself. Don't share yourself too much. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I am doing the best I can, and I am taking care of myself. And a reminder, if people want to support me and help me do that, the donation link on PayPal is in the beginning of the comments on YouTube, and I'll put it on this thing again and the Zoom comments. And also tomorrow is the uncensored live Zoom room for people who want to join that. You can ask more personal questions, and you can also ask questions that wouldn't be allowed on YouTube because of all the things that are happening in today's world.
Awesome, man. It was wonderful.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah, I liked it. I felt it. Hello, Lucas. I'm not sure if I've seen you here before. Welcome.
I came once like a few months ago. Yeah, it was very powerful. I'm like, I gotta come back.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mario and Bassiani. Bassiani
Yeah,
kicked in.
Thank you so much for stepping in. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I don't know how this could happen. Really, I don't understand. But at least I could sense that Mario, he was enjoying being close.
I was really enjoying it. Thank you for
Oh,
this.
good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Oh man, when the connection dropped, I'm like, no, getting back in, and thank God everything went well. You know.
Yeah, it's good that you said that. And like, I noticed that somebody was in the waiting room. Like, I don't know, my eyes open slightly sometimes, and I can come.
That was me.
Cool.
There was even what was the name? Gabriello. Like
Lucas,
when
it's Lucas.
well, there was you after, but there was someone else that once I allowed in, it kind of muted Dante's mic, and I'm like, wait, what? What's going on?
Oh, wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
You might have accidentally hit the mute all button, which is close to other buttons.
That's the thing. Working with the tablet, I'll need to get something else.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah.
Oh. The weather is so nice right now. It's finally like not scorchingly hot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looks beautiful. Seeing you enjoying.
Yeah, it's pretty here.
Mm.
I love the trees. Love the green.
That's where you live?
Yeah, I live here.
So how is it going, the community, people?
It's amazing. Amazing. Like we do conscious processing work together. We are very transparent as to where we're at. We have hangouts sometimes, like casually. A lot of people work from home, so there's like co-working space sometimes, and it just feels really good to like have people around. I sometimes like don't even like leave for several days at a time, which is a little bit like, it's good, and also, okay, you go do something today. You go do something.
I know that feeling when you have everything at home with the community, and then you don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just enjoy nature. And
Oh yeah, and everybody, the channeling course might happen again in October if people sign up for it. So if you're interested, contact me about it. And if you don't like the group experience and you want to take it at your own rate, people also do that, as there's like 12 hours of pre-recorded content that you can take at your own pace, and you then can go one-to-one as in your integration of each of the lessons. I do think the group experience is more powerful because you can then work with other people that support you in getting confident in those gifts. Whereas if you work one-to-one, we kind of have to scout out people to practice with, but it's usually not a problem because there's a lot of people in my network that want free sessions. So anyway, that's there. I don't think I have anything else to say really, but is there anything else that we should say?
I just wanted to say thank you for the amazing answers that the Pleiadian Council gave us. This was all so amazing.
You're so welcome. Yeah.
Yeah,
It felt like a good one today. It felt like the energy, the momentum is building again now that this is happening again.
Definitely. Yeah, so good you're back. Well,
have a great day, everybody, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
You
You as well.
Good day.